You are now listening to Talk Your Jits podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Talk Your Jits podcast. This podcast is, as the name implies, all about jiu-jitsu. I'm your host, Lamar Smith, and today's guest is a purple belt who trains at a Phenom BJJ located in Mission Hills, California. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Rico.
How y'all doing? What's up?
What's
How you
going
doing,
on,
bro?
brother?
Oh, not much, not much.
Yeah,
Feeling
alrighty.
good.
So, let's just just dive right into it. Just go ahead and give us a little backstory about your jiu-jitsu journey.
Sure thing. Okay, well, first things first, thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate it. It'd be nice to talk to some people, get this kind of off my chest, if you will. So I started off wrestling when I was 9 years old, got through high school, ended up going to college for a little bit, wrestling. And when it was done, it was like, what do I do with my life now? Like I've been a competitor from the time I was 9 years old all the way up, and the fire hadn't burned out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me start off by saying I'm 40 years old. Or I'm sorry, let me interject and let you know I'm 40 years old. So back when I finished, this was like the heyday of UFC. I mean, we're not talking about Hoist Gracie yet, or I'm sorry, anymore. It's more like we're talking about, BJ Penn. We're talking about Matt Hughes. We're talking about, all
Yeah.
my heroes. Randy Couture's up there. So we see wrestlers make
Mm-hmm.
it was the time of the wrestler. So we see that. But I'm also seeing these jujitsu guys coming out and killing.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? Let me start jujitsu. Let me see. Let me do this. So the first trainer that I ever had was Fabiano Iha. Now I don't know if you know him, but they used to call him the King of the Armbar.
Mm-hmm.
He
I
was
heard the
an
name
MMA
before.
fighter. Yeah, he was an MMA fighter back in the day also. So it was almost like fate. I first time I looked for a jiu-jitsu. Now back in the day, Google wasn't really Google, if you will. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
yeah, so it kind of took so what we used to have was SureDog. SureDog was basically like a forum where we could all talk. Like all the people, different people from everywhere would talk about MMA, would talk about jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, you name it. So I went onto SureDog to find out that Fabiano Iha was actually had a gym in North Hollywood, not 15 minutes from my house.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, okay, I want to do MMA, so let me get into this. Well, the funny thing was, when I got there, I didn't really like the striking. I didn't like getting hit in the face. It kind of hurts, bro. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I did a couple of MMA fights, but I'll be honest with you, every single one of them ended pretty much the same way. Either one of two ways, I should say. One, I took the guy down and submitted him, or two, they punched me and I got knocked out pretty much. You
Oh
know what I mean?
wow.
Like, yeah, every single fight ended the exact same way. Now, don't get me wrong. I never got bigger than, local shows here and there,
Mm-hmm.
smokers as we called them. But yeah, but it was fun. It was fun. But what I did do really well, what I excelled at was no-gi jiu-jitsu. What I
Okay.
excelled at was yeah, definitely doing that because of my wrestling background. So I was with Fabiano Iha for about 4 years. He had a thing where he wouldn't promote unless you trained in the gi, but I never wanted to train in the gi, so there was no reason for that. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing MMA, so I was like, okay. So I never got promoted. So for 4 years, I mean, I was still doing advanced divisions. I was still doing, like don't get me wrong, I wasn't winning them all, but I was doing fairly well. I was competitive till I did an MMA fight where my retina got detached. I
Mm.
was about 28 years. I was about 28 years old, and long story short, I basically hid in a bottle for about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Became, very addicted to alcohol. Pain pills were my best friend, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Till about 36 years old, when I decided, you know what, I'm done. I'm done being the druggy, drunk alcoholic, the idiot. I'm done. So I wanted to sober up, and the first thing I thought of was, let me go back to jujitsu.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I've now 4 years sober. I'm
Beautiful.
now a purple belt. Yeah, I'm now a purple belt. I've won Pan Am's twice. I've flown to Florida to do that. Through COVID, through all of that, I've dedicated my time to where I'm the competition coach, if you will, for the kids at my gym. And yeah, every day, I mean, train 6, 7 days a week. That is my AA. That is my NA. You know what I mean? It's what helps keep me sober. It keeps me sane. Like coming back to the sport that I kind of turned my back on for a long time. It's almost magical. You know what I mean? It's something that really has changed my life. That has motivated me to want to be better, to want to be better, not just on the mat, but as a human being. You get me?
Oh yeah. Oh no. I totally get you like 100%, man. 110% as a matter of fact. But yeah, I
Yeah,
get it. I get it.
yeah. It feels really good. I mean, it does. It's. There was a time where I thought I was going to lose my wife. I thought I was going to lose my family. Like I didn't realize. I thought I was having fun. I thought I was that happy-go-lucky guy.
Mhm.
I thought I was, but I was just a mean, ungrateful, alcoholic. You know what I mean? Like we all think it's funny when we're in that state of mind, if you will.
Mhm.
But truth is, I was the only one laughing. Nobody else was.
Right.
So yeah. Now that I've gotten back into training, now that like I told you, there was a time I was 270 pounds. I fight at heavyweight 202. I walk around about 210. You know, and like I've always been a little bit of a bigger guy. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to touch my toes again.
Hey, I totally get that, man. I went from I think I was like when I was purple belt, I was about 240 something, but I got down to like 217, and yeah, the same thing. Like, oh man, I can like touch my toes.
Yeah,
Like I can like
right.
stand straight up and like bend over to touch my toes. I'm like, that may be like it may not seem like a lot to like people, but that's a big deal.
Yeah. No, I mean, even tonight I was training, like right before the phone call, I was training. And the funny thing was, like, I actually was rolling with a friend of mine, like one of the kids that he helps me get ready for, like, I'm getting ready for Nogi Worlds now. So
Okay.
he's one of the, he's like 20 years old. He's a brown belt. He's one of the kids that helps push me
Mhm.
because as I've told him, if I can cardio with a 20-year-old, there's no 40-year-old on the planet that's going to be able to slow me down. So
No. Yeah.
he pushes me all the time. Like he's a really good training partner of mine, really good friend of mine. I was rolling with him and I actually inverted under him. When I inverted, like, don't get me wrong, it was really sloppy. I'm not trying to like say it was really, but I was able to get my feet over my head. I was able to get underneath him. I was able to roll through it. It felt good. I know I'm going to feel the pain in my neck and back tomorrow, but hey, I did it once, and that's all that
That's all
matters
that
to me.
matters. That all that matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It felt really good. Yeah,
And it's funny, yeah, going from a bigger guy, rolling to being a smaller guy and rolling, you do feel like a ton of difference when
yeah,
it comes to rolling.
absolutely.
Like you don't like you feel like a whole lot lighter, a whole lot like more nimble, and
Yes.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Like your game really necessarily doesn't like quote unquote change, but just that extra weight that you got off, you just yeah, like you just feel like a totally different person.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I feel like my game changed. Like I told you, I've always been competitive, like in my
Mm-hmm.
life. Like I was raised that way. I've always been competitive. I don't, even like when my kid was doing basketball, I wasn't helping him with basketball because I didn't have a plan. Like I jumped in the coach's game. I was the first coach to say, yes, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always been that type that no matter what I do, I want to compete. Not necessarily because I want to win, because I just want to test myself. I
Right.
enjoy competing. If we go and we roll for fun, it's fun. Absolutely. I flow roll all the time. Like, because like I said, I'm 40. Nobody can hard roll every single day. Absolutely. I enjoy that. It's just I enjoy our competition rules a lot more. Like I
Yeah.
just the way I'm wired, I enjoy that. So for me, like you were saying, exactly, like it's when I go out there to compete as a 200 pounder. I remember when I first was competing, I was competing in the ultra heavy,
Mm-hmm.
250, 260.
Yep.
I was a pure smash pass, pure. I didn't play off my back. If I got on my back, I lost. I was like that kind of guy. It's not about winning or losing, but you know what I mean. It's more of a when you're that big. It was really difficult for me to play that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's a lot different, like you said. I don't mind if I'm on my back. I don't mind if I'm up on top. If I'm up on top, yes, I prefer the smash pass, but I can stand and pass if the smash isn't working now. I can move a lot better. Like the movement is just it's changed. And it's because, like you said, you get that extra weight off, and it's incredible how light you feel. Even though, yeah, 200 pounds. I'm sorry, I might, like, I always joke with my wife, or I joke with my training partners. I'm considered a big guy. I might be a small big guy, but I am a big guy.
Yeah.
Like I get
Yeah.
it. I understand that. Yeah, yeah. But it's just it's like you said. It's funny. I can't wait to see how much more I can come down,
Yeah. And um like before I started training jujitsu, like my heaviest was like 280, like 285.
Yeah,
And obviously, you training and you training hard, the weight just melts off. So yeah, I
yeah,
got down to like 240, but I think it was like, yeah, before COVID I did get down to 220, but I didn't like that look. Like it was like I'll if I can find the picture to show you, I'll actually send it to you personally. But
yeah,
like looking at that 220 then versus my 220 now, it's so weird that I'm like it's the
yeah,
same weight, but like I look totally different.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, so when it comes to like training in jujitsu, like you're saying, like it has became a lot easier to fight off my back because I was always be the heavier, bigger guy. So it's like, yeah, I get stuck on the bottom, still kind of do, but you get stuck on the bottom, and it's like it's so almost so hard to move. But now I'm feeling myself a lot more nimble and being able to get to certain positions off my back now, and it's like like I'm trying to develop so much stuff in my game now, but it's like my body is moving faster than I can. So it was like, whoa, like slow down, Tiger. Let's let's
yeah,
get a game
yeah,
plan going here.
yeah. No, that's the best part about jujitsu for me, though. Like, I love that. Like
Mm-hmm.
when my body starts moving on its own, like I liken it to. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of an anime nerd, so I'm
Oh,
sorry
right,
if you don't
right
get the
along with
reference.
you. Right along with you.
Okay, okay, perfect. Well, Goku's Ultra Instinct
Yeah.
in Dragon Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I liken it to. It's we have drilled this stuff for so long. When your body's moving on its own, man, I trust my body to know what it's doing. It's
I'm
because
telling.
it's something that I've
Yes.
drilled. I don't realize, like, my brain doesn't catch up to it. But if you just follow your body and let it go, all of a sudden you're going to be in a better position. You're going
Mm-hmm.
to be wherever it is you're supposed to be. And then your brain will catch up and be like, oh, that's right. Now let me finish up the movement. But like, I love when that happens. Like, I just let my body go. Like, because it's like, okay, hold on a second. I may not know what I'm doing, but my body does because I've drilled it 1,000 times already. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
I love that. I love when that happens, when the ultra instinct takes over.
Definitely. And like it's something about like your body going on autopilot while you're doing jujitsu, because like you can like almost feel like you can sit back and just watch your body just do what it wants to
Yeah.
do. And
Yeah.
right before brown belt, yeah, right before my brown belt, I started to move different. I started to like roll different. And like I was talking to my brother, you want to say, and he was
Mhm.
like, dude, watching you train these last couple of weeks has been crazy. He's like, I've never seen you go for so many back attacks like that. And
Yeah.
honestly, I was like, I wanted to say, yeah, me neither. But I kind of just like chuckled it off. But I was like, damn, I did not realize that I've been coming a lot sneakier to get to back. And
Yeah.
now that I'm noticing,
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, this is nice. This
Yeah.
is so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. See, that's funny. I'm actually getting to that point. It's funny you say that. Like, I'm getting to that point now where I've been attacking the back relentlessly. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
just what I do at this point. I'm still not getting the finishes, like the amount of finishes that I want,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm getting to the back on pretty much everybody because, like you said, it's following. It's I've done it now I've been working on it for the last 6 months or so.
Yeah.
But chasing the back, blocking the hip, making sure I connect the shoulder, the off shoulder to the off hip. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
cross sides, making sure I lock them down. And it's just like focusing on just that detail. The next thing I know, my legs are in the right place, my hands under the chin. I've got my seatbelt nice and tight. I'm ear to ear. I'm where I need to be, just to make sure that I'm there. Now, again, I'm not getting the amount of finishes that I want yet because that's the next step.
Yeah.
But at least I'm getting into position, and that's all that matters at this point. Like, yeah, I love that, dude. It feels good to be able to. There's training partners that I have where they just don't open up. There's no way to get, in my head. There's no way. I can't do that. He's too good. He's too strong. He's too big. He's too fast. He's too whatever. To end up on that person's back just feels fantastic.
Man, it
Like, yeah,
does.
it's
It
just,
really does.
yeah, yeah, it
But
really does.
yeah, it's
No, go ahead.
it's like the same thing. Like I'm honestly happy that I'm starting to discover this now versus like earlier in my jiu-jitsu journey, because like if this was like me back then, I would have been so frustrated because I could not get a finish off from the back. But like now it's like, all right, we're not getting like, okay, if we get someone's back, maybe we say like 5 times out of a roll, and I'm only able to finish maybe once or twice. It's like, what? That's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
We can build from
yeah,
that. We can build from that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you're right. It's funny that you actually mentioned that. Like, so this is something that I've been doing for a while since this second time around since white belt.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to keep jujitsu journals and write in them every night. Now, my jujitsu journals, there are some pages where it's detail by detail, the technique that I worked, detail by detail, and that's all it is. Then there's some where it's 4 pages of just my rambling,
Mm-hmm.
because it's my journal.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is, like, I go back and read them all the time. I have finally accepted that at white belt, the things I knew were fact, the things that I was 100% sure of, this will never change until I'm a black belt, I laughed at blue belt.
Mm-hmm.
Blue belt, I made fun of my white belt self for the things that I thought were fact.
Mm-hmm.
Because blue belt, I had corrected it. Now I know the facts. That was even more wrong than what I think is true at purple belt. Now at purple belt, though, I understand there's nothing that's factual, because the better I get, the more I realize it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at this point now, so when I even like at class, when I explain techniques to the underbelts, I always start off with the preface, okay, this is what my purple belt brain understands. Now I want you to understand this. Our black belt professor can definitely help you better, but what my purple belt brain knows, this is the way that I prefer to do it at this moment. That
Uh-huh.
does not mean it's the only way to do it. That means that this is the way that I understand to do it at this moment. I want you to understand that. And then I'll show them whatever technique it is that they're asking me for help with.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've understood that there are so many details, like at blue belt, that I thought, okay, this is it. This is the way. I look back and go, no, dude, I would crush that. I would stop that by doing this. What about this? You're not assessing this grip. You're not assessing whatever it may be, And
Yeah.
it's funny. It's funny that you say that. Like you said, the more experience we get, the more we realize we don't know. It's almost like
Oh yeah.
life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's almost like.
no,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh, like I was saying, it's almost like life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it cracks me up, like how it's made. Like, the more I get into jujitsu, the more I realize, like, it's a white belt. You're a kid. Everything's just wonderful, and it's just like, I can't wait to know everything. I can't wait till I'm a black belt. Then at blue belt, it's like you're a teen. You know way too damn much, and you don't want to hear anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to purple belt, and you're a young adult, where you finally are. You know enough to get yourself to be safe, to be good, but you also know enough to know that you don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Brown belt, that's like your 30s, where you finally have figured out how to get to your career, how you figured out how to get to retirement. You already know your game. All you got to do is perfect it for a couple
Yep.
more years.
Perfection and refinement. Yep.
Yep. And then at black belt, though, you're 40. At black belt, you finally realize it's time to be a kid again.
Yep. It's
You get
time
what
to
I'm saying?
it's time to have fun again.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Exactly. At least that's the way I see it right now as a purple. We'll see when I get to black. Then maybe I'll refine that again. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll definitely have this conversation again once you hit black.
yeah,
But
yes, sir, for sure.
but yeah, it's that mentality I've always had like a love hate for. Like once I got to like mid purple, because yeah, you started opening up stuff and you starting to see like white belts that come in and they're doing stuff that you did as a white belt, and you're
Yeah,
like, all right, now I gotta help them. Like,
yeah,
don't do this, and instead of doing that, do that. And it's like it's good because the generation under you gets better so much faster. But at the same time, it's like, dang, I wish I had someone like this when I was that
yeah,
rank to come in like, hey, tweak this, refine this, and blah 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 blah. But yeah,
yeah.
like you said, like that white belt level is just purely survival,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
purely survival. Like we
Ah,
always tell our white belts, like, look, if you're rolling with a upper belt and you survive, you won.
yeah,
Like, don't worry
absolutely.
about getting a tap. You just worry about surviving. That's pretty much
Absolutely.
it. And then
Yeah,
blue belt is when you start learning all your techniques that you think you're going to know, like every single
yeah,
arm lock, every single key lock, every single whatever. You try to pack everything in. Purple belt, you start cutting stuff out.
yes, sir. I
Brown,
like that.
like brown belt, you probably got a good strong 10 techniques you go to.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
black belt, yeah, that's when the fun begins. Like you can just do whatever you. Basically, at that point, you should be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's. I think like we have a similar a process, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like like with our professors that are in the gym, they look for when they want to promote, they look for number one, they want to know like has a person put enough time on the mat,
Yep.
and time is not like a oh you got to put 2 years in. No, time is more of a are you here 3 days a week or are you one day a month, kind of thing. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how long. It's more of a are you putting in the work, the effort. But then yeah, exactly like you said, it's to go to blue belt is pretty easy in our gym. Are you surviving? Yes. Are you giving the blue belt some rolls? Yes. Okay. Well then we'll get you blue. To go from blue to purple takes time
Yeah.
because exactly like you said, they want to make sure you can now sweep a little bit. You can now maybe catch subs. The white belts, like the new white belts that are walking in, you can do to them what the purple belts are doing to you. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
control and make sure, yeah. And then, like you said, our purples are for us. We focus it on being like the teaching belt. If you're a
Mm-hmm.
purple belt and you can't yet explain your best techniques, then you're not even close to ready for brown.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that's how they look at it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
At, yeah. At brown though, at brown, our professors look at it like, okay, once you're a brown belt, all it is a time to get to black. We want to see you're a good person. We want to see you're still teaching. We want to see that if you're a competitor, you're still competing. We want to see, like they just, but at that point, they're like, your game should basically be at the black belt. You should be one of the guys who are giving the black belts tough roles. You should be
Yeah.
one of the guys. But yeah, at that point, it's more of a, like you said, it's just refining the game. Like maybe you're making still little mistakes in your game, but you should be trying to fix it to make sure that you're there at that black belt level
Yeah.
because yeah, and I love the way that they do. I like the way that they do. I feel like the blue to purple is definitely like even in competition. Like I go out there and I notice it's funny. Like I always tell everybody, all the guys that I help with, all the kids, blue belt is probably the craziest belt I have ever seen as far as skill discrepancy goes.
Yes.
Like it is
Yes.
insane. It is insane. Purple belt, even the best purple belt on the planet versus the worst quote unquote, and I won't say worst. The brand is the newest purple belt that is a competitive match.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the best blue belt in the world against a brand new blue belt, that is not competitive even close. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous how much of a discrepancy there is at blue belt.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I get it. I get why. Different gyms, different things. There's some people who promote to blue, like I said, like my gym is more of a we'll promote to blue. If a guy shows up every day and is understanding what he's doing, 4 months I've seen people get blue belt, 6 months. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
because it's like I mean, don't get me wrong. It's also 4 or 5 years before you're getting a purple in my gym. Like usually something in that neighborhood.
Right.
But it's to get a blue is like that. Now we've got kids though who have been training for 8 years, become a blue belt. That's long enough for most people to get their black belt.
Yeah.
You're putting a black belt in the blue belt division. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's
But
yeah, it's insane.
But yeah, but just to kind of touch on what you were saying about how your your professors handle rankings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And I want everyone to like listen to this part very carefully. If you're training, if you're not training, if you're thinking about training, but like this is what I want you to take from all this. But we're obviously there's more we'll talk about. But when it comes to your like ranking or stripes and stuff like that, if you can get out of the mindset of chasing that stuff and actually just focus on training, all that will eventually happen. Because yeah, you just can't just show up to the gym you can show up 7 days a week, but are you training 7 days a week? It's a big difference of going to the gym and actually sitting down and training. Like you just
yes,
can't be like, oh, I'm gonna show up late or I'm just gonna show up this time. I'm gonna, half-ass, techniques or whatever's going on that day, and then you just leave. You're never going to get better because
yeah,
you're not showing that you're trying to do better.
yes,
But yeah, once
exactly.
you get out there, you're busting your ass and you're grinding, you're showing that you're improving. Yeah, yeah, the colors will come.
Yes,
The
exactly.
colors will come. But
Yes,
jujitsu is one of those things where you get out what you put in.
yes, sir. Absolutely. Preach. Absolutely. That is by far the best explanation I've ever heard. Exactly. Don't worry about the color. Don't like my gym personally, we don't do stripes. You just color up. So
Yeah, I see a lot of schools do that. I see a lot of schools
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. We put stripes on the kids because it's a motivator thing for
Mm-hmm.
for the kids, but for the adults, it's like, why would you need that? Like for us, it's more of a. I mean, we're not really a big competition school, but because we do have a few competitors. Most of the people are very good teammates. We're very family oriented, if you will.
Oh yeah.
So, so if I like for me, I've got Nogi Worlds coming up. I've got about 8 people who aren't doing Nogi Worlds who have already offered to Shark Tank with me, to run with me, to whatever it is that I need to do. You know what I mean? Just because they're family. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, everybody's very we're all the same kind of mentality. The color will come. It's
Yeah.
not about who you beat. It's not about how you beat them. It's not about anything like that. It's about how much work you put in. Professor gets on the mat with us every night. At least one of them does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because of that, the professor knows how good you're doing. The professor's ready to give belts out when he sees that you're ready for one.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like our professor stands there or plays on his phone. He's rolling with us. He knows what we're doing. And we all know that, okay, if you put in that work, it's going to come.
Oh
Like, it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I've always made that joke, man. I wish they would have left me a blue belt. I wish they would have left me a white belt, to be honest. I would love to be that white belt who's been a white belt for 15 years beating black belts.
Just
You
destroying
know what I mean?
everybody.
Like, yeah, bro, right? Tell me no. Tell me that doesn't sound like a great thing, though. Tell me
Oh
no, bro.
yeah.
Like, tell me, yeah.
You're a one stripe white belt and you're blowing through like black belts, like two
Right?
second degree black belts. Like, why aren't you ranked up? I don't feel ready yet.
Yeah. See, exactly. That's my dream right there. That's what I would have loved for it to have. But
Like,
it is what it is, and they rank you up when you deserve it.
oh
But
yeah.
that's how I think. Yeah, I think that's how it should be with everybody, though. Whether you're the newest white belt or a blue or brand new blue belt, doesn't matter. Don't worry, your color will come. Your time will, just like the man who's beating you up at purple, the man who's beating you up at brown. His time came, so will yours.
Oh
Just keep
yeah.
putting in that time, keep putting in that work. Don't ever judge yourself by anybody else either. For anybody who's listening, I don't care if your best friend is getting promoted way faster than you or whatnot. Your time will come too. Don't worry about somebody else's journey. This is your journey. This
Yeah,
ain't nobody
yeah.
else's.
Exactly. This is your journey. And there are people that's like, poking at the professors like, hey man, I've been here for this amount of time and Jimmy just got his blue belt. I'm trying
Yeah,
to see what's going on with mine. Why am I not getting my blue belt? The
yeah,
questions
yeah.
if you're gonna ask your instructor anything, the main question is, do you see where I can improve?
Yes,
That's
exactly,
the only thing that
exactly.
you should be asking your instructor, and that's the only thing you
Yes,
should be asking your training partners. Do you see
yes, sir.
areas where I can improve?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. My professor, I'm gonna tell you just real quick because it's funny. My professors have told me they have a rule. Even if they're gonna promote you tomorrow, if you ask or mention your promotion, automatic 6 month wait.
We have the same instructor. We have
Yeah.
the same instructor. Like, don't ask. Like, I'm like, don't ask.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
ask.
yeah. So the main professor for my gym comes from Gracie Baja.
Okay.
He's the owner, but I'm sorry, I should say the owner professor comes from. He's mostly the nogi professor. He likes to do nogi, so he does that. Our main professor in the gi is from Alliance.
Okay.
So in other words, these two very competitive teams. You
Mhm.
already know, very competitive teams. They got the same rule. They grow up from the same cloth. They cut from the same cloth. They both world champions. They're both ex-pan champions. They're both won. Our professor in the gi, our main professor, Professor Gabriel, he won worlds from blue belt all the way to brown belt, and then
Nice.
won master worlds, and then won. You know what I mean? Like he's won pants all over the place. I mean, yeah,
Yeah. So he know a
it's
little
that.
something.
Oh yeah. They know that's those are the boys right there. When I ask them how do I do this, I shut up and listen because they've already gotten what I wanted.
Oh
They
yeah.
already got the level of competition that they hit. They've already won things that I probably will never have a chance to win anymore because I'll be honest with you. I've tried to do the adult division once or twice and them damn kids is too damn fast, too damn good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You
I'm
just
not
gotta
trying to
slow
go.
him down, man.
Yeah, ain't no slowing these little. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ain't no slowing them down. That's the thing. You could slow them down, but they got 8 minutes. I'm only good for about 4 or 5. I'll stick with the Masters division, bro. I'm good. These little kids is fast. They strong. They big, and they're good. Yeah.
Oh
So
man.
like, yeah. So, but no, I've asked them like, okay, how is it that I got to train? What is it that I have to do? How do I get to what you've gotten to? And I listen.
Yeah.
I mean, It's easy. Like, what do they say? I mean, there's no secret to it. Show up. I train personally. I train 6 days a week. I take one, or I should say seven, because on my seventh day, my day of rest, I go for a little run at least, active rest. I like to drill on my seventh day. I just don't roll hard. I don't lift weights, but I train 6 days a week because that's what it takes to get to that point. That's what it
Yeah,
takes to get there.
yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And shout out to my professor too, man. Like, he's been, obviously, he's been my instructor since, since day one, and
It's awesome.
he pushed me, beyond what I even thought, and still pushing me, even further to this day. And even after, I got my brown belt, we were talking about the test and everything else, and we were going over some other stuff, and he just straight up told me, he's like, yeah, you did your test good, and he was like, well, there was a lot of details I would have liked to see better, but you did show that you know your stuff. And I respect him for that, because he could have been like, yeah, you did good, and just walked and just left it alone. But no, he wants to see me improve. He wants to see me, get better. He wants to see me get my black belt. And
Yeah.
we were talking about that today. He's like, you are one of the people that I know. There's only two ways that you're gonna. He said there's only two ways you cannot get your black belt at this point. Either you're gonna stop training, which I don't see, or you're gonna die. And I was like,
That's awesome.
yeah. I was like, because if there's breath in my body, I'm dragging my ass to this gym.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the best part about you. Like for me, I can't tell you how many times, I'm tired from work. I'm tired from life. My body
Mm-hmm.
hurts because, like I told you, I train 6 days a week, like no matter what. My
I
training is,
want that so bad.
yeah, I do. No, my training, like, okay, look, so let me back up a little bit, and let you
Mm-hmm.
know. So I'm in Cali. I work in the movie industry, which means there's usually about 6 months out of the year where I got to kill myself. I mean, like as far as work goes, 12-hour days, 15-hour days, 16-hour days sometimes, don't matter.
Okay.
But when I'm done, I make enough money that I can take the other 6 months off.
Nice.
So yeah, so it's very nice. Very nice. So I've got 6 months where I'm working, and I'll tell you right now, it's a pain. Like, you know how hard it is to get up at 4 in the morning to go to work, just to get off at 5:30, to make it to class at 6:30, to make it to class at 7:30, to make it to class at 9:30. You know what I mean? One of the classes, to make it, just to make it, to go back home, to have to shower, sleep, get in bed by 11, just to get up at 4 a.m. to go to work again. It hurts. I
Oh
mean, it
yeah, I
hurts.
bet.
Yeah,
I bet.
it hurts. And those are the days though, like that fourth, fifth day, when I'm exhausted, I'm tired, my body hurts, I'm sore, I'm just like, I can't do this. I can't go again. I can't. No, you're going. Those are always my favorite and the best practice days.
Man,
Those
I'm
are
telling you.
always the days that mean the most to me in the end, because it's like, it's a mental push. It's a
Oh yeah.
block. Like I always tell my kids, I tell anybody who will listen, pretty much, the mind wants to quit long before the body has to.
Long before the body.
Long before. And when you push, that's just like, it helps in all aspects of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nothing is serious. I shouldn't say it. Nothing is that serious in my life anymore, because I've learned to force myself to do the things like that. I'm
Yeah.
never in that big of a trouble in my life. The car breaks down. Okay, that's okay. We'll get it. We'll fix it. Here's what we have to do. Wait, dude, we're stuck on the freeway. Don't worry about it. We're fine.
Here we go.
Like,
We're on the side. We're all right.
exactly, exactly. And you just got to figure it out at that point. Nothing is hard anymore.
No.
After wrestling, after doing all that, it's always okay. Hold on, let's slow down. The same way, if you and I was rolling, you crushed me, had me in the most oppressive mount that I've ever been in. Take a deep breath and relax. You know the
Mm-hmm.
escape for this, so let's start working it. Now, whether I can or can't escape is all dependent on your pressure too. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
let's be real. But I'd be able to, you calm down. At white belt, I'd just freak out and tap because I can't breathe.
Oh yeah.
It's like the more you train, the easier difficulties in life become. And
Yeah.
to me, that's something that's beautiful. Like, it's beautiful. Like, I love that about jujitsu.
And I I tell my wife all this all the time. Like, when I train, well, it's only 2 days a week now, but
Hmm.
at one point, yeah, I was training 4 or 5 days a week. 2 morning classes, 2 afternoon classes, and a Saturday class, and then if we do open mat.
Yeah,
But now it's just 2 days a week, and then we have open mats on Sundays. But yeah, when I get those like extremely, extremely stressful moments, I just want to go train.
yeah,
Like I don't want to do nothing else. And it's like, sometimes, depression, anxiety will get the best of me where I just want to just curl up in a ball. But
Yeah.
now it's at the point where it's like, I just want to go train.
Yeah.
And I just be
Yeah.
sitting here, it's
That,
like 2, 3 in the morning. Like, I just want to go to the gym.
yeah. I'm gonna tell you something else. And then, yeah. So my wife trains also. She's a blue
Mine's
belt.
just started back training this month.
Okay, see, so that to me is the best part. Like I'll be honest with you, 2, 3 in the morning, I wake up and I'm stressed about rent. I'm stressed about I gotta find a job because I've been off now and it's about time to start working. I'm stressed because of whatever. But like you said, I want to roll. I got my training partner, my favorite training partners, right laying down right next to me. You know what I
That's
do?
awesome.
We got mats laid out right in the room. So it's like, babe, wake up, you awake? I am now. Okay, come here. Let me just try this leg again. Let me try this. Let me try that. Yeah,
Like you awake? Yeah, let's 50-50 real quick.
Exactly. Yeah, you know how it goes. All right. Exactly. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to boot your foot because then I'm going to try and search it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just start drilling. Yeah, exactly. It's fun, man. It's like yeah, like you said, it's good. I mean, it's good for her too. Like my wife is more of a judoka. She prefers judo.
Okay, that's
But
awesome.
I mean, she does jujitsu all the time too. She likes both of them, but judo. If she has to choose between going to judo or going to jujitsu, she does judo. So the fun thing is, like I told you, I used to be a wrestler. I can't tell you how many times we've gone takedown for takedown, and I mean literally takedown for takedown, where she slams me on my head, then I come up and hit her with a double leg, then she slams me on my head again. You know what I
That's
mean?
so
Like,
awesome,
but
man.
but, but
That is
yeah,
goals
dude,
right
but
there.
yeah, that's what I'm telling. But then we hit the ground, and that's where it's like, okay, I'm a competitive purple. She's a hobbyist blue belt. so, so don't worry, bro. I still get the better of
It was
her.
funny, like my wife stopped training because we had our second daughter, so and then like COVID and everything else got real bad, so but we're
Yeah,
she's finally able to come back to training, and she's pushing herself, and I'm really really proud of her for that. um
yeah.
but like the other day we were watching TV, she was on the phone, I'm like like rubbing her feet or whatever, and I just got lost in thought, and like she just like tapped me. I was like, what? She's like, you just like like you like, what you trying to do, a heel hook? I was like, oh, my bad. And then
Yeah,
we were like discussing it, and it was like, okay, look here, come here, let me show you, all right, put your leg
yeah,
like this, if the foot goes here, da 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 da, blah blah blah.
yeah,
And it's like, yeah, man, this is awesome. I can't wait till she
yeah,
actually like get like more confidence in herself to like actually roll. then
yeah,
then then it's gonna
yeah.
then that's when the fun happens. That's when the fun
Oh
starts.
yeah, bro. Oh yeah. I'm telling you right now that's like my wife is my favorite training partner. Like I love that. Like anytime I'm drilling, I grab her. Anytime we're moving flows, I grab her. Like she knows what it is I like to do, so she understands how to kill my game better than most.
Oh, that's
Because
awesome.
yeah, bro, like it's so much fun to play to like move with somebody. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a little too big for her, of course. I'm a little too strong, but that's the beauty of jujitsu. Like we learn how to be technical. So I don't
Mhm.
use my muscle. I don't
Mhm.
use my strength. I don't use my size. I try and move with her. So me trying to move with her, I'm not gonna lie to you, like she exposes a lot of the places where I'm not technically sound because I can feel it. Like I'm not if I can't be heavy or if I shouldn't be heavy, if I'm not being heavy on her, why is this not working? Well, my hands are in the wrong place. Well, I'm not making the right grip. Well, I'm not putting pressure on the right hip. I'm not doing I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can really, when you take your size out of the equation, you can really see how much you're muscling things. And to me, that's like me, that's taking my game to the next level. I feel like just because moving with her understanding what it is that I'm trying to do, she's able to stop it. And it's insane, like how much better I feel like I've gotten just by moving with her. And she's also got a mean footlock too, bro. So it's a pain in the butt, like having to keep her from getting under me. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. She's got a good little footlock. So yeah, but it's fun. It's fun, like rolling with her. You know?
Yeah, man, that's that's
But yeah,
that's
yes,
that's pretty cool. And like I said, I'm just trying to really get like my wife out of the that mindset that she's gonna do so bad or anything like that. I'm like, no, just roll, just go for it.
yeah,
Like it's gonna
yeah,
be
yeah,
fun. I'm not gonna kill you. I'm not gonna
yeah,
steamroll through you. But no, we're gonna have fun. Like I'm gonna let you work,
yeah,
and we just gonna get better together.
yeah. I mean that's the thing. Like I find that, like I said, okay, so I help coach with the fundamentals class and the kids classes,
So do
right?
I. So do I.
Yes. Yeah. So like it cracks me up how often we see, whether it be smaller men or women coming into the class. I just don't want to roll with anybody who's going to hurt me. Like, I'm so scared of you because you got the brown belt on. I'm so scared of you because you got a purple belt on. I'm scared that they're going to hurt me. I've seen more injuries from white belt to white belt than I've ever seen from purple
Ever
belt to white
seen.
belt. Dude, and I've got no problem telling them, like, look, the more advanced guys are probably the ones you actually want to roll with because they understand how to not hurt you.
Yeah.
Like, I've got no problems telling them that. And I hope anybody who's listening, I hope you really take this to heart. Hear this. If you see somebody with a color, some blue, mostly most of the purple that I know, brown belt for sure, and black belt for sure. If you see them and they want to roll with you, do not be afraid. They want to teach you because they see something in you. They are not going to hurt you. If they want to, they can. If they
Yeah.
want to keep you safe, they will. They will want to keep you safe. I promise you. We get nothing. Anybody who's an upper belt gets nothing, no kind of gratification, just beating you up.
None.
We want you to get better. That's what it is.
Right.
The person who may hurt you is that spazzy white belt that nobody rolls with. You'll know him because he's sitting in the corner by himself.
Right. No one walked up to him yet.
Exactly. Stay away from that guy. That guy might hurt you, but everybody else you're fine with. I promise.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've explained that story so many times. Like, I can't say for sure if I remember if I was a spastic white belt, but I don't remember getting hurt or hurting anybody. I don't think, but yeah, I've got poked in the eye, I got scratched, I got head butted, I got kneed in the face, elbow. I've gotten beat up by white belts.
Yeah.
But they be like, oh, wow, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, I'm used to this now. Come on, let's keep working.
Yeah. See, I wish I could say that too, but I gave you my background. I was a college wrestler, man. I was probably the spazziest white belt you ever met. I'll be honest. I can remember a time when I literally got caught in a triangle and I power bombed a black belt. I didn't know any better. Like, I did totally something like, well, right when they told me, you can't do that, I was like, well, why not? I saw Matt Hughes do it. Dude, you can't do that. You're going to hurt somebody. Oh, like he just told me, I didn't know any better. I was probably the spazziest white belt you've ever met, to be honest. Like, yeah, I wish I wasn't, but I didn't know any better.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like you learn how to walk all over again. So everybody was probably extremely spastic at one point in their career. But honestly, there's people that's still upper belts that's still spastic.
Yeah,
which blows my mind.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, that to me, like, I guess you could say, okay, here's the thing for me, the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm coming to visit your gym, I am not rolling more than 20% with anybody. I don't care how spastic they get because I'm a visitor. Now, that being said, the second day, if you and I are like, hey, dude, let's push it a little bit, I'm more than happy to do that too.
Yeah.
The point that I'm making is, like, you've got to discuss it with your partner first. Don't be afraid to say, hey, man, do you want to push it a little bit harder? I don't see a problem with that between two people who want to push the pace, if you will.
Yeah.
But that being said, you're right. Like with everybody else, I'm trying to learn. I'm not trying to get hurt. If I'm going to get hurt, I want to do it in front of a bunch of people cheering my name. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to get hurt in front of everybody, like in front of just you and me. Like, I don't want that to happen. So yeah, let's keep it cool. Let's keep it playful. Let's have fun. Let's do some crazy stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to try and in tournament. I prefer to be. I like to, if I'm going to play guard, I like to pull half just so that I can come up into a single leg, take you down, and then I'm going to smash pass through, and I'm going to play from the top. That's the way I prefer to play in tournament. Yeah. I don't want to do that when I'm in practice. I'm practicing. I want to work on my weakness. So I'm pulling close guard. I'm pulling spider guard. I'm pulling De La Hiva. I'm pulling whatever it is that I know I need to work on because I'm not good at these things. I don't want to do that, though, if you're going to jump through my legs and kill me every single time I do. You know what I mean? Like relax a little.
Man,
yeah, exactly.
I ain't got time for that.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, man, I'm a little too old for that right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's when I'll play the age card, bro.
Like, man,
You gotta
no, no,
remember,
I'm too old for that. No, I'm pulling
yeah,
rank. Don't do that.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
You got to remember, bro. I'm 40. Shut up, Rico. You've been here for 4 hours already. Yeah, but I'm 40. You
Right.
know, like stop. Yeah,
I'm 4 hours in, but I'm still 40.
exactly. Sometimes you got to play that old man card. I ain't afraid to do it.
Oh no, not at all. But yeah,
Yeah, that's what.
yeah, like once again, if anyone's listening and they have, upper belts that you're like, I don't feel comfortable rolling with an upper belt. Yeah, those are the best people to roll with because obviously they have more knowledge than you. Um, and don't be afraid to talk to your training partner.
Yeah,
Like everything
abs-
don't have to be a full all out war. You
mhm.
can just simply say like, "Hey, I just want to work, guard passes, or I want to work whatever." Let's go into a little bit more detail if we can about today's lesson, or
Mhm.
let's start from this position and see if I can get out. Like, you don't have to
Yeah,
be just a fight to the death every single time.
exactly. I mean, don't be afraid. Like we actually have a little. I won't say a rule, but Professor loves to do this. So, in the middle of round, sometimes you got, you're tired. So you want to sit on a wall, sit on a bench, sit up to the side, whatever it may be, because you can't roll.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what my professor does is if it's two people sitting like that, or if it's just you sitting off to the side by yourself because it's just uneven partners, whatever technique we drilled that day, that's what you're doing during the roll. Professor will get down. Let's say we're just doing Toriandos. Well, you're doing Toriandos while the rest of us are going with Professor laying down right there. He'll explain all the finer details of it. It's not like for speed. It's, just to explain the details. If you're resting and you see somebody else resting, don't be afraid to ask them, hey, man, can we just drill what we were drilling?
Yeah.
Because that's still active rest. Yes, you're still resting. You don't got to do it fast, but you guys can both work on it together. That way you don't really take a rest round, quote unquote. But That way you do take a rest round, but it's not really a rest round. And you're still getting your exercise. And more importantly, like we were talking about earlier, the more you drill, the more your body's going to remember to do it. Even if your brain doesn't, the more
Yeah.
your body's going to want to do it. The more your body's going to see how to work it.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. And I get, when I was doing my brown belt test, the white belt I was rolling with loved this guy. His name is Matt.
Yeah.
Very, very, very like he's an awesome guy all the way around. But man, he will push you to your limit even as a white belt because
That's
he's
awesome.
very,
Yeah.
very strong. He has like a very, very good keen of sense, and he's just a go. He go 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 go. And
Yeah.
it'd be like so many days I'd be like, I just want him to slow down one time. Just
Yeah.
just take your foot off the gas a little bit. But I'm like, you know what? This makes me better.
Yeah.
Like this makes me
Yeah.
so much better. But like now I'm like, I love rolling with this guy.
Yeah.
Like he don't even ask. He'll just come tap you like, all right, let's go. I'm like,
Yeah.
shit. All right, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll tell you, we got the same kind of guy. We got
Mhm.
the same kind of guy. His name is Jose, but nobody knows him as Jose because we call him Rambo.
Wow.
Guess why we call him Rambo?
What was that?
That boy's always going to war. He's probably though. I'm not gonna lie. He's probably my favorite training partner. He's a brown belt that just knows what he's. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say he's always going to war, he's not like beating up the white belts or the blue belts. I mean,
Mhm.
he's going to war with the upper belts. If
Mhm.
you are purple or better, if you're purple or above, sorry, I should say better. If you're purple or above, he's coming after you. He's coming after you. When I say coming after you, I mean coming after you. 100%. As hard as you can come.
I love it.
He's probably my favorite training partner of all because he's strong, he's big, he's fast, he's technical, and he will go for the kill the whole time. If I can hold him off, if I can sweep him, if I can sub him, if I can move with him, ain't no, like again, like I told you, ain't no 40-year-old alive that's trained that way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah, this dude Rambo is a killer, and yeah, exactly like you said. There's times where, yeah, of course you're gonna dodge him a little bit. It's my rest day. I'm not trying to get into a war, but the days where I'm rolling, he's the first person I'm calling. He's the last person I'm calling
Yeah.
because that guy is gonna make me better. every single time we roll, that guy is going to be the reason that I'm wearing that. He's going to be the difference between a silver medal and a gold medal.
Oh
He's going
yeah.
to be the difference between a first round exit and getting to the finals.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I
And
wish
yeah,
I
yeah,
wish my gym had about 3 more mats.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I wish our gym had about 3 more of him, because
yeah,
like even the crazy part is, like, going back to, like, the family, like the family dynamic of our gym.
yeah.
We're not a competition school, but I'm supposed to be competing um for, I can't remember, the name of the organization that's doing it, but
Hmm.
yeah, I'm supposed to be competing in January. I think the sign up doesn't start until next month, but yeah, I told them, like, hey, I'm going to do this tournament, blah blah blah, and everybody's like, oh yeah, oh, that's what's up. All right, whatever we can do to help you, let's go.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome, bro.
and no one in like, since I said that, everyone's like, all right, man, let's go, let's go.
Yeah,
You got this tournament,
yeah,
right? You want to get better, right? Let's go, let's go. And it's
yeah,
like, I love it, man. I
yeah.
love it. I love it to the end, man.
Yeah, to me, that's a thing of beauty. Like I'm telling you, that's what I love about my. Now, can we go to can we go to gyms with like a proven competition team and proven competition coach, and blah blah blah? Of course, but that's the thing. Proven competition teams, proven competition coach, they got their competitors already. They may not have the time to give you. To
Mm-hmm.
me, I would never leave my gym because, like you said,
No.
I love the fact that I've got people who are willing to, put their life on hold to help me.
Yeah.
I got family that's like, even if they can't help me, like I got a buddy who is a white belt, who's a beginner, who's 140 pounds. He's a little too small to move with us. Or I shouldn't say to move with us. He's a little too small to move with us in the force, like with the strength that we need, or
Mm-hmm.
that I need. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what he can do? He's a fucking dietitian. That's what he's done. He's gone to school to become a dietitian.
That's awesome.
So you know what that man has done for me? He's given me meal plans. You know
That's
what that man has
awesome.
done for me? He's shown me how to take care of my body to get down to the weight healthy. Because usually I'm the guy who dehydrates. I'm a wrestler, first and foremost. Or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I'm a grappler now. But the way I learned to cut weight was through wrestling, which means dehydrating myself, which means starving myself for the last 2 days. This boy has actually gone out of his way to give me a diet plan so that I won't have to do that. I mean, that to me, that speaks volumes.
Man,
Like
I need
something
to talk to
yeah,
him.
yeah, bro. I'm telling you, like all jokes aside, man. Normally, right about now, I'm about 212, 215, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm already down to 210,
And
which is
that's where I'm trying to get to, like
yeah,
210 to,
bro.
yeah.
That's not normal for me though. Like I'm not used to this. Like I feel healthy, I feel full. Like this doesn't happen for me. You know what I mean? Like
I'm right there with you, because I'm like, I got so much energy now. I'm not as tired. Well, I'm tired in the morning, but it's like, give me a couple minutes and I'm like, I'm ready to
yeah,
go.
yeah. I'm telling you. I mean, I've been getting up lately. I've been getting up, 6 a.m. to go run. Then I come back home, make my breakfast, whatever, go train, 9 in the morning. And when I say go train, I mean usually it's strength and conditioning 9 in the morning. Go train, come back home, eat my lunch, go to noon class, come back home. That's where I'll like really relax. Then 4 o'clock is wrestling, and then 6:30 is jujitsu. 6:30 to 8:30 is jujitsu.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like doing that, that's a lot of training. That's a lot of training to do,
Yeah.
like for an older guy. Bruh, it's crazy how good I feel.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good I feel just from eating right. Like I never thought that was possible. And when I say eating right, don't get me wrong. Like I'm eating a lot more than I thought I should, and somehow, some way, the weight's still falling off of me.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like I never thought that. I mean, I don't know the way the diets work. He has me eating a lot of food. I was like, dude, I'm gonna get fat off this. You can't do that. You got to remember, I'm 40. Like, just trust me, do it. So I did it. I did it for 1 week, and I dropped like 4 pounds. I was like, dude, no way. Like I said, like I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
I definitely need
it's
to
insane.
definitely need to talk to him, man. Definitely
Yeah,
need to talk to
yeah,
him.
for sure, bro.
But yeah,
For
like
sure, bro.
I totally agree, because I would never thought, like, if this was me, let's say this is me 4 years ago or 5 years ago, just started training, and you told me, like, okay, in the future you're gonna be getting up, you're gonna get up, go to work, you're gonna, on your lunch break, you're gonna go to the gym, you're gonna come
Yeah,
home, you're gonna do this on Tuesday, you're gonna get up, do this, then go to work, then go to training. Wednesday you're gonna do it again. Thursday you're gonna do it again. Saturday you're gonna do a private or whatever, and then Sunday you're gonna do open mat. I'd be like, man, get out of here.
Yeah,
Like, man,
yeah,
watch
for
out. I'm not
real.
doing all that.
Yeah,
Like,
for
no.
real.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's my thing. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'd be bored on my lunch break, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go to the gym. There's a gym like
yeah,
8 minutes down the street from where I'm working at. So boom,
yeah.
take that whole hour, go to the gym, and I've been going like about 3 weeks strong, going to the gym and training consistently for like the last three
Nice,
weeks, and
brother.
my body is like on fire. But I'm like, I'm so sore right now. But I'm like, yeah, jujitsu's tomorrow.
Yeah, bro. Nice, bro. Hey, that's good, man. That's good. Keep it up, my brother. I like that. I really like that. Like that's awesome. Exactly. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yep,
Like,
yep,
yeah,
yep. And
that's the
they
thing
they
too.
say like it takes 21 days to develop a habit. Nah,
Yeah,
just give
yeah.
yourself a
I don't
good
think.
strong week.
Yeah,
You're hooked.
yeah. For real, for real. That's facts right there. Exactly. Like that's the big thing for me. I feel like it's like again, everything to me feels like jujitsu has kind of proven that it's all about the mental. If you tell yourself you're going to, and you say it every day, I don't care what it is, you're gonna do it
You're going to do
because
it.
eventually, yeah, because eventually you get it in your mind. It becomes true. Like I don't care what it is. You say you're going to own a house in 2 years. I promise you, you say that shit that to yourself every single day, you're gonna find a way to own a house in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You tell yourself, you tell yourself every single day, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds. I promise you, you will lose that 20 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does not matter. Yeah, just like you said, you tell yourself every day, I gotta go to jujitsu. I miss jujitsu. I miss jujitsu. I miss jujitsu. At this point, you really do miss jujitsu. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You really are looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely.
And like and this moment here is a prime example of that because I talk to my wife about this all the time about starting a podcast or do like streaming on Twitch or stuff like that. And
Yeah,
she's always been behind me, like, yeah, I'll support you, and no matter what, do what you feel like you love. But then, I tried the streaming, it was cool, but I was like, whatever.
yeah,
And I never
yeah,
got that, like, that I had a schedule going where I would do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'd be like, okay, Monday I do it, to Wednesday I do it, and then by the time Friday, I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing this. So I
yeah,
started,
yeah,
losing the love for it. And then, fast forward, I was talking like, I want to do a podcast. I got a nice, decent computer or whatever. So I've been doing research on it. But I was like, man, what should I do a podcast on?
yeah,
And I'm sitting here like, okay, fool, jujitsu. Like, this is
yeah,
what you
yeah,
talk about all day. So do a podcast about jujitsu. And as
yeah,
soon as I told myself that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start one. And it just
yeah,
nagged at me. It nagged
yeah,
at me for like weeks,
yeah,
weeks
yeah,
and weeks. Like, dude, get it started, get it started, get it started, get it started.
yeah,
You know what? Fine. I'll sit down. I'll make a page. I'll make a post and say, who wants to be on a podcast about jiu-jitsu?
yeah.
And
Yes.
bam, here we are.
See, and that's a beautiful thing to me, brother. That's a beautiful thing to me. Like I love hearing that. Like I love that. I mean, I've always been that type. Like I don't get mad at other people's accomplishments. Man, I get proud like they're my own. I love hearing
Yes,
people who, yeah, I
yes.
love hearing people who set a goal and complete that goal. But not just complete that goal. You told yourself you were going to run a mile. My brother, you're already reaching for mile 5. And to me, that is a great thing, bro. Like, I'm happy to hear that for you, man. It's got me smiling from ear to ear,
Man, I
bro. That's
appreciate it,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, brother. That's awesome. God, that's cool. Like, I love that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, is there anything else you want to, mention? Any competitions you got coming up? Definitely shout out your school or, whatever, man. The floor is yours.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm coming up Nogi Worlds in Anaheim, IBJJF Nogi Worlds in Anaheim in December. I'm definitely going to do that. Plan on becoming a world champ. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see what happens. But of course, there's some people out there who there's at least I think it's 6 competitors are there right now, 7 of them, something like that, that got something to say about it. But we'll see. We'll see what the best man is when that day comes. Yeah, huge shout out, of course, to Phenom Jiu Jitsu Professor Christian Bell, Professor Gabriel Goulart. Love you guys. Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much for giving us the school that we need as far as students go. And so big thank you to you, my brother. Thank you for having me on, man. This is awesome. Like I love this.
Man, I greatly appreciate you coming on, man. This was one of the best episodes so far to me. But yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, man. Maybe we could do it again, after I become a world champ.
Oh yeah, man. Look, yeah. So whenever your tournament is, yeah, just let me know, and right after, and we definitely can schedule some time to get on and definitely talk about that, man. I would love to hear about the experience at at your tournament.
Absolutely. Absolutely would love to do it, brother. All right. Thank you again, man, for everything.
Yes, sir. And that's the end of today's episode. I would like to thank my guest, Anthony, once again for coming on and sharing his experiences with us. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And I hope you guys learned and take something from today's episode. And please go follow our Facebook and Instagram page to stay up to date on all future episodes. This has been Talk Your Jits podcast. Keep rolling, keep grinding, and remember, long live Jiu-Jitsu. Have a great day.
Very well. Very well.